This guy's not welcome back. It was like...
All right, after a quick 8-hour car drive, we made it to Buffalo. Buffalo was the basis of Longmire. Awesome show on Netflix, but grabbed food in town tonight. Really cool downtown, very historic, very interesting buildings and things like that. But be getting up early tomorrow, heading into the Bighorns, do some backpacking, camp for 2 nights, fish, hike, have an awesome time. So me, my dad, and Ryan, we're ready to rock.
Good morning. We're here at the trailhead and getting ready to head up to Marion Lake, where we'll be setting up camp about 6 miles in. And then from there, kind of going off into different streams, different lakes, checking everything out.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Up to Marion right now, about a mile in. We're doing things a little bit differently this year. We've done a lot of hiking in this area before, especially around Misty Moon up towards Cloud Peak. This year we're not quite hiking in as far, only about 6 or 7 miles. Going to set up camp and do a little more fishing this year on some lakes that we've never been to. Most specifically East Marion, then hoping to get Florence again by Bomber Mountain. So should be a very fun time exploring and catching some trout. Dad, where are you going?
We're going to Lake Marion. We're about 2 out of the 6 miles in. Just had our first water break.
How do you feel?
Beautiful.
How do you feel?
Feel great.
What's on your hat?
My first fly that I'm going to catch trout with.
Mm-hmm. Hello everyone. I decided that we needed to do some introductions so that all of our viewers know who we are. My name is Kobe Nofziger. I'm an amateur filmmaker and outdoorsman. That's how I would classify myself. My goal for the trip is to see a big moose. State your name, occupation, and your goal for the trip.
My name is Matt. I work at Showplace Cabinetry, and my goal for the trip is to catch Snake River cutthroat trout and Wyoming cutthroat trout. That's my goal, and not die.
Ryan Feltman. When I'm not out hiking, I'm serving as Director of Youth Ministry for Cultivate Co-op. I'm definitely looking forward to just being out here, enjoying some time with Matt and Kobe, and also just some solitude, being out and away and unplugged. Definitely a benefit to this trip.
All right, we made it to Lake 1, Lake Helen. Up here in the backdrop is Cloud Peak. About 5 miles into our hike, another maybe mile or mile and a half to the next lake, Lake Helen, where we'll set up our campsite. But for now, I'm gonna eat a quick lunch and maybe try fishing here and keep on our way. We are approaching Lake Marion now. I said it wrong in the last video. We are camping at Lake Marion this year, which is where we camped our second night last year. So we're hoping that it can be a little bit more out of the wind, more tree cover, a little bit better spots to camp, a little bit more fun fishing. But getting to the lake now, gonna have to putz around for a little bit to find a campsite, but yeah, it's a beautiful lake and we're excited to get our packs off and relax a little bit. It'll probably end up being about 6.5 miles into our campsite once we find our spot. Our campsite has been acquired. We went a little bit further north than our campsite last year, which is fine, but this one will be a little bit nicer because there's a lot of tree cover. We're on the west side of Lake Marion, still with an awesome view of Cloud Peak in the distance. Dad, what are you making?
Tonight's entree is the Chad Mendez backcountry bison bowl with 40 grams of protein, premium freeze-dried.
Ryan, what do we got going?
I got a little chicken Alfredo pasta. 48 grams of protein, way too much sodium, but we'll be all right.
And I will be having creamy chicken ramen. All right, it's 8 o'clock here at camp. We did a little bit more fishing tonight. Didn't catch a whole lot, but earlier in the day I caught a lake trout and we caught a couple brook trout. So we had a fun day fishing. Probably about to roll into our tent soon. Tomorrow we'll take on East Marion and try to see if we can catch some different cutthroat. Morning of day 2. We had a cold but peaceful night's sleep, really no wind. So we got up this morning, ate a little bit, and had some hot chocolate. My dad and I are now heading up to climb to East Marion, where we will try to do some fishing. And then Ryan's gonna stay back for a little bit, but then he can either climb up there to meet us or get some extra miles and loop around and go out by gunboat. So getting the day started. So down here is Lake Marion. We camped right about there last night. So we have climbed up this, and now on our way to East Marion, we're going to be following this creek up to that patch of pine trees, and then we think East Marion is right on the other side. We have arrived at East Marion. That's our path down to Gunboat. A nice view of Gunboat Lake, which we know as Hurricane Alley. We're gonna go by Gunboat and then probably head on to Florence, so we can kind of see the Bomber Mountain plaque and look up at the mountain. Meeting up with Ryan again soon. He took the long way around. How was the morning?
Morning was good. I hiked up about 1.7 miles from our camp up here to Gunboat. Saw a big bull moose on the way, which was cool. Very serene. Didn't see a single soul up here other than that moose, so good morning.
Made it to Florence Lake, which sits at the base of Bomber Mountain. Heading down from Lake Florence now. We had an awesome day of fishing. We caught Yellowstone cutthroat at East Marion, so earlier this morning, and then caught Snake River cutthroat at Lake Florence at the base of Bomber Mountain. So really cool fish. It was a really fun time. My dad probably caught a 25-inch trout out of Florence, so he's probably the big winner of the day, but I held my own. As we're heading back from Lake Florence to camp, we took a quick pit stop at one of the lakes along the way and caught a golden trout. So for a lot of people, they don't really know what all of these trout species are, and coming into this trip I didn't really either, but they're very unique and you do not see them very often. So to be able to catch Yellowstone cutthroat, Snake River cutthroat, and golden trout in one trip is pretty special. Just when we thought it couldn't get any better, two big bull moose. Back to camp. Ryan, what's for dinner?
I'm going with beef pasta marinara, 49 grams of protein, 1,040 calories. Sodium is less than last night though, 940.
Healthy.
There we go.
Dad, what's for dinner?
Sweet pork and rice. Shredded pork with rice and vegetables with brown sugar glaze.
By which chef?
This one is not. Oh, it doesn't say.
Random chef.
Hopefully the stuff gets cooked.
I will be having beef ramen. Wrapping up day 2. It is almost 8 o'clock and pretty much dark out. really good day of fishing and hiking for all of us. Just really good weather, almost no wind, and caught some really nice fish. And it's been really quiet out here for Labor Day weekend. There hasn't been a lot of people around, so we've definitely been enjoying that. But with just a long day out hiking and in the sun, we're all pretty beat and getting ready for bed. But we'll maybe do some fishing in the morning, but get up tomorrow and pack up and start our way out. Last day here, did some fishing this morning, but ultimately packed up camp and are now starting to hike our way out. Probably gonna try to do a little bit more fishing on the way out, but we're all excited to get back to the car, relax a little bit, have cell service, so not quite sure how many breaks we'll take, but another beautiful morning. Sun is out. Temperatures were actually not as cold last night, so that was great. I think everybody slept a little bit better. I think we'll sleep even better tonight in the hotel that hopefully comes along with a hot tub. Hiking out, Mama Moose and her calf. How was the trip?
It was awesome. Just finished up about 22 miles up and back. A lot of fishing for these guys. Caught a bunch of trout. They should be proud. Beautiful weather. Awesome trip.
Saw some moose, two bulls and a cow and a calf. That was cool. Like Ryan said, we caught some beautiful fish, so you get to see those when you watch the video.
I don't either.
I'm the man behind the camera.
I'm recording right now, and so